Oh, hello there. Ah, you came. Thanks to your efforts, I've received a fine piece of Satsuma pottery. It should fetch a high price overseas. At any rate, I was hoping to exhibit an ukiyo-e print and its woodblock at the upcoming international exhibition. As it happens, I found a collector who owns a masterpiece of the genre. After some negotiating, he agreed to lend it to me, if I did a certain job for him. Can I count on your help? The collector is a very wealthy man, so I'm sure we'll be duly rewarded. Oh, most certainly. A single ukiyo-e print brings together a host of refined techniques masterfully honed by artists, carvers, and printers. Which is why I want to pair it with its woodblock to show our printmaking process. I'm sure it will be a big hit. That's the spirit. Besides, the collector is presently right here in Edo. Let me take you to him. Shall we be on our way? Ukiyo-e can be cheaply manufactured. You just need the original woodblock. That's why it's popular among the masses. The piece we're borrowing is by a famous artist named Hokusai Katsushika. The owner is a great admirer of his works. We've arrived.
I wondered who it might be, but I wasn't expecting you. So, you're not entirely an enemy of the state, I see. Before you ask, I haven't seen your samurai friend. I don't know anything more, so let's not waste our time. Oh. By the look on your face, I dare say it wasn't the most heartwarming of reunions.
Oh, you know each other? Excellent. Then let us get straight to business. We will take on that job you mentioned if you'll kindly lend me the woodblock.
Ah, yes. It is my hope that it makes waves at the International Exposition. Unfortunately, there's talk that someone is trying to steal it. I will not stand idly by and wait for these ruthless scoundrels to take my property. And that's where you come in.
To root out some thieves? I agree. We mustn't leave such men to their own devices. In fact, I'd be more than happy to oblige.
By all means. I'd never work for free and likewise expect the same of you.
In any case, The first thing we need to do is lure the rats into the open, then nab them. Naturally, we mustn't let any harm come to the Consul General. Therefore, as soon as the thieves show up, we should whisk Mr. Harris to safety. Well then, let us get ourselves ready. That's a hoaxai for you. Even the wood block is magnificent. I can already imagine exhibition goers marveling at the exhibit.
With this, my acclaim shall flourish. You've done exceptionally. Please, leave the rest to me.
This way.
Oh, they're here! The thieves!
Quickly, to the consul!
What the?
Damn it! It's a trap! Sorry, boss. You'll have to finish it.
It sounds like they have accomplices. We need to get to the consul at once.
I couldn't stop them. They've taken the wood block.
I'll tend to the consul. You go after the thieves.
Stubborn bastard! I'm not giving this up! All right, lock. Fan out and deal with them.
Sorry for the wait. Come, let's take care of these crooks.
Just one easy woodblock. Surely that bitch foreigner can spare.
When you say things like that, we are even less inclined to...
I had to come see for myself. Splendid work, the both of you.
All right, you're coming with me to the commissioner's office. But first, tell me one thing. Why were you so anxious to get your hands on these woodblock?
Hokusai's bold compositions are said to capture the true essence of the ukiyo-e art form. Surely, there are collectors who'd pay anything to own one.
I can see that you are not some simple outlaw. Tell me, have you ever worked as a merchant before?
I have. It was my former occupation, but I've since fallen on hard times, as you no doubt can see. Now, I have neither status nor money. Therefore, it was my intention to steal the print and gain a second lease on life.
A crime is a crime, no matter its motivation. One works to get money to buy what they need. Surely, that is the way of things in both our nations.
Now that Japan has opened its doors to the world, we can expect there to be many changes in the way we do business here. International trade will serve as an opportunity to greatly enrich our nation. But to make the best of it, we'll need the support of merchants like yourself. As a vassal of the Shogunate, I vow to remake Japanese commerce for a new age. And I hope you'll contribute too. By honest means, of course.
I'll consider it. But you better not be paying me mere lip service.
That's the end of that business, I suppose. Here, a bit more than I promised. May it help you find your samurai friend.
I showed myself in. If I can be of help, just let me know.
How do you do? Hello there. You know, I realize I've asked plenty of you in the past, but there's a certain matter I'd rather like your help with. It's a bit of a sensitive matter, if you know what I mean. That is to say, I've fallen in love with someone at first sight. I have to woo this wonderful woman. Do you think you could help me? Oh, thank you. Well, her beauty escapes words. Frankly, I've only seen her from afar a few times, but she has already won my heart. I just need a good way to approach her. I'm afraid I'm far more familiar with handling plants than I am women. Well, I suppose I've made a fair amount gathering tea plants, but it feels rather wrong to be buying somebody's love. A fine thought, but she barely knows me. I'm not sure she'd begin a courtship with a complete stranger. Yes. Surely nobody takes offense at receiving a gift. But, what should I give her? I don't know if I have the courage. Maybe if I could show her how I feel without needing to say a word. A good question. Aha! I've got it! What if I gave her a beautiful flower? An appropriate gesture, given my interests, is it not? Good idea. Miss Ine might give us some insight into the mind of a young woman, and perhaps Dr. Narasaki could offer the expert advice of a married man. I'm not sure I can muster up the courage to ask them myself, though. Would you perhaps do me the favor of talking to them for me?
What's going on with you today? I shouldn't have underestimated you. Oh? Go on then. Everything I know, I learned by assisting my father. I may not be a proper physician, but I certainly know more about medicine than most. Have you ever thought of studying medicine? That sword won't always save your life, you know. Don't look at me like that. Ryoma gave me the same look when I said as much to him, too. Huh? Oh, alright then. Don't do anything crazy.
Oh, it's you. Was there something you needed? No, absolutely not. Anytime I might have had to pursue a relationship, I've spent on caring for my patients. Ah, so you're here for some advice on love. Unfortunately, you're barking up the wrong tree. But I suppose the best course of action would depend on the couple in question. What do you think your friend should do, if I may ask? Well, I suppose there are some women who would find that most important. Personally, I'd prefer a partner with more class. Yes, that could be a safe approach. If I were her, I'm sure I'd appreciate some beautiful flowers. That might work if they're already well acquainted. If he barely knows her, a sudden confession might just be upsetting. I don't believe there are shortcuts to anyone's heart. But there is something charming about someone who isn't afraid to be themselves. That's about all I have to offer, I'm afraid. Sorry, I couldn't be more helpful. But good luck to your friend.
Huh? Did you need something? Well, out with it. Long enough. Can't say I've been the most attentive husband, given how busy the job keeps me. But you know, she's never threatened to leave me once. Suppose you could say we were meant for each other. There are some things you just can't explain. What does that have to do with me? Oh, you want my advice because I'm married, don't you? Enough about that. What do you tell your friends to do? Money can certainly be reassuring, but I'm not sure it's the best way to tell someone how you feel. Sounds like an idea thought up by someone with the luxury of time to spare. There are worse ways to get to know someone, I suppose. It's human nature to appreciate strength. But surely, strength isn't everything. Listen, a relationship that's built on lies isn't built to last. Your friend shouldn't hide who he really is. Tell him to be himself. I'm no expert in these matters, but your friend better not squander my advice, you hear me? You'd better make sure you tell him that.
Thank you again for talking to the others. Well, what did they say? Be myself, eh? I suppose there's nothing for it but to try it. That settles it. I'm going to give her a flower after all. Why? Just the other day, I spotted a true beauty worthy of my beloved. I must retrieve it at once. But what if I were to get attacked on the way? I hate to ask, but would you acquire it in my stead? Thank you! The flower in question was growing in the forest near Ichigaya Hachiman. You'll know it when you see it. This is it! Precisely the flower I had in mind. Thank you. Words cannot express my gratitude, my friend. The Belladonna Lily. Its name means beautiful lady, you know. A perfect match for my beloved. Ah, yes. Another friend of mine has agreed to help me with my fateful proclamation. Let me introduce you.
So you're Robert's talented friend. I knew you were good with a sword, but I didn't realize you also dabbled in matters of the heart.
Oh, already met Rutherford, have you? I owe my talented friend my very life. I trust them with it and more. Now, since we've got the flower in hand, we just need to present it to her. She's a geisha in the Yoshiwara district. She goes by Miss Usugumo. Then you are already familiar with her resplendent beauty. That makes things all the easier. Well, shall we make way for Yoshiwara to meet Usugumo? I appreciate your support. Oh, I'm so nervous and excited my heart could beat right out of my chest. Come, let's find Usugumo. Oh, I'm so nervous my head is spinning.
I dare say your nerves speak to the strength of your feelings. Surely won't be lost upon your lady.
Ah, how lovely to see you. And so many of you today. It is lovely to see you as always. Words cannot express how grateful I am for your help with my cats.
How do you know her exactly?
Is something the matter? I certainly hope we can become friends. Now, what brings you to Yoshiwara today?
Yes, ever since I first saw you, I've wanted to tell you... here, a token of my admiration.
Oh, what a beautiful flower. Is this a gift? For me? Your gesture means ever so much. I shall never forget it. Not even when this flower has withered and died.
Here I thought I'd pay my Usugumo a visit. Didn't think I'd have to put up with her foolish customers, too. Who the hell gives a girl a dumb flower?
How dare you! Miss Usugumo will not fraternize with the likes of you. Leave us at once.
Savages everywhere. You. Isn't this what you're here for? Just don't outright kill the man, hear me? I'm not about to get on the wrong side of the law.
You wanna have a go? All right, you asked for it! I had my eye on her first, damn it! Just wait, damn you!
Not half bad.
That guest has been problematic in the past, but your talents were evident as ever. That we should. You are very thoughtful when it comes to your friends, I see.
I am truly glad that the flower was to your liking. I never got to introduce myself. My name is Robert Fortune. There are many beautiful flowers in the world that nearly rival your beauty. If you were to wish it, I would gladly give you every last one of them.
I cannot imagine anything more wonderful. I promise to be here awaiting you. I never knew such beautiful flowers could grow outside Yoshiwara. I hope you will be so kind as to show me more. Well, I must thank you all for today. I hope we will get to know one another over a little drink in the near future. Until next time.
Hello! Oh, things are proceeding well with Miss Usugumo, thanks to you. Every flower I bring her thrills her to no end. And yet, flowers can only do so much. She likens herself to a bird, you know. A bird trapped in a cage. And so I have decided I will free her from the Yoshiwara. I will need plenty of money, far more than I currently have to do so. I will simply have to keep gathering flowers and make as much money as I can. I'm counting on your patronage. Come to me for all your botanical needs. Hello! How good of you to come! How can I help you today? Now this is what I call a gift. I've got just the thing for you. There's something I would like you to see. What is it you desire? Thank you. Is there anything else I can be of assistance with? Is there anything else I can be of assistance with? Is there anything else I can be of assistance with? Certainly. I'll keep my eyes peeled for anything that might interest you. How can I help you today? Me? Really? My time in China was a very memorable one. At the time, Chinese tea was highly popular in the West, so I disguised myself in order to bring back its ingredients. I wasn't allowed to travel around the country freely, you see, so I made myself look like a local to get around the restrictions. Hard work, I tell you. My plan worked, and I was eventually able to locate the ingredients in question. But, as it turned out, they were identical to the tea plants we had in England. Apparently, it was the Chinese method that made the tea leaves taste so different. Isn't the world of plants chock full of remarkable discoveries? A most excellent question. I shall do it by means of a Wardian case, a glass case within which the plants are sealed, along with some moistened soil. The plants get all the air and water they need within the case itself, all while being protected from the harsh sea winds throughout our long voyage. And it is so very pretty. Imagine a miniature greenhouse. The glass it is constructed from poses no obstruction to the view of the plants within. Oh yes, very much so. I am particularly taken with the Thudiopsis dolibrata. Its spear-like trunk practically pierces the heavens. When I first laid eyes on it at a temple, why, I was so in awe I forgot myself. Before I knew it, I was halfway up the tree, shoes tossed on the ground behind me. I swear I could almost feel its vitality coursing through my veins. Oh, what joy! Though I can't say the temple priest was very happy with me. Happy to chat whenever you need me. I suppose that's all. Goodbye.
Looking as well as ever? Ah, it's you. I hear you helped Robert with some tricky business involving a woman the other day. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm in your debt. I looked into her, by the way. Someone matching her description was seen in a certain forest, apparently in search of some plants. I wonder if she attacked Robert to get her hands on his rare specimens. We must ascertain her whereabouts before she has the opportunity to cause more trouble. Goodbye. What is it? Oh, how amusing. And what would that be? Well, I suppose I won't deny that. It is a beautiful place. Mount Fuji, for instance, is particularly stunning. The way its majestic peak glistens with snow, despite the raging fire that burns within. The contrast is rather arresting. I am as glad to gaze at it as I would be to climb it. If it were possible, I would lop it off and bring it all the way back to England. Very well, then. Till we meet again.
Ah, I was wondering when you'd next drop by. I'm glad to see you. Really? That would be great. Oh, it looks like you have quite the collection. Good work. What would you like me to work on? What would you like me to work on? I have a hunch you will be back again. Am I right?
So we meet again. Clearly, I'm no match for your strength. So I'll just have to make use of it. My name is Alexandria Moreau. Seeing as we are not total strangers, let us get down to business. Naturally, I will have you answer my questions in full honesty. To start, please identify yourself. I see. You do seem rather lonely, don't you? Now then, where might I find Robert Fortune? Well, after all I did to make him suffer, I'm rather surprised he didn't run away or hide. The foolish man. However, I suppose it simplifies things somewhat. I shall have you bring him to me. There we go. Help me get what I desire, and you shall be rewarded. You were gathering morning glories earlier, no? That is a special flower. I want you to serve it to Mr. Fortune in a tea. Once he's consumed it, he should follow your every order. After that, you are to bring him to the abandoned plot of land by Denzuin Temple. Understood? Good. Then I'll leave the matter to you.
How can I help you today? That's very kind of you. Although I'm not quite sure I can accept it. I'm in your debt enough as it is. Then again, I would hate to refuse your generous invitation. Oh, what should I do? Right. If you insist. Verily, tea is a wonderful thing. It has no borders, and is something the British and Japanese can enjoy alike. Of course, I enjoy the odd cup of sake also, but there are so many who wreck their lives with it, don't you think? Anyway, this tea, it tastes a little funny, no? Are you leaving? About time I go out too. So, shall we go look for a wonderful flower garden? To think that I came all the way to Japan just to be housebound by bloody expulsionists.
It's Mr. Fortune! Quick, we must save him!
If only I always had a warrior like you with me. Ah, I feel great. It must be the tea. What kind of leaves were they?
Back to us! Don't try anything funny!
Thank goodness. Ah, flower petals. The flower garden must be nearby.
So, the reports were true. I'd heard you were working with that woman.
Ah! A flower! A flower monster in the shape of a human! Help!
Hand Robert over at once.
You vile savage! Robert! Hold on!
Good job. You did splendidly. I have a feeling that this is the start of a beautiful relationship. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Till next time.
Thank you for coming.
Don't fuss. Just come.
It's nice to see you again. How have you been?
I hope to return the favor someday. Please, ask away. Strictly speaking, I practice jujitsu of Kitoryu, but in fact, I've combined it with various other styles I've picked up here and there. In particular, I've tried to incorporate several different unbalancing techniques. I try to avoid those grappling techniques so often used in battle. After all, at heart, jiu-jitsu is really about putting an end to conflicts, not killing one's opponent. Oh, excuse me. I fear I'm doing all the talking. If it's not too much trouble, I'd like to hear about your fighting style someday. I'm well versed in both staff and polearm techniques, and I've even studied a few of the Western martial arts, such as Greek wrestling and gloved boxing. There are many things we can learn from the West, and they from us. I've already managed to impress a few Westerners with my jiu-jitsu skills. If only we could learn to respect and encourage each other's strengths, how would benefit the nation as well as its people? Pardon me, you were asking about what other martial arts I practice, weren't you? In any case, I hope I've answered your question. Understood. I believe that's all I have to say.
Yes. I see you know me well. All right, go ahead. I received martial arts training from a young age, and the Shoryuken was a part of it. To be sure, the Shoryuken is not quite in keeping with my position, so I take great pleasure in honing my skills in secret. But now I see it as my greatest weapon. I am well capable of using it to drive off my opponents. Save yourself. First, I'd like to raise an army from all levels of society, like they've done abroad. Naturally, this army would be trained along Western lines. It would have a navy and an infantry armed with rifles. I'd also like to bring the shogunate more in line with Western forms of governance. Under a modern system, I would be president, and my elder officials, ministers. Of course, all of this will be necessary for us to catch up with the world. We may be called copycats, but we should pay that no mind. Very well, then. Our business here is done. Dismissed.
Oh, you rounded up any fugitives? Interested in anything else? Best of luck out there.
Oh, hello there. If you've something to say, I'll hear you out. How kind of you. And what might that be? Indeed, I was. My family made indigo dyes. We'd purchase the necessary leaves and sell the finished products to customers in the Shinshu and Joshu regions. Even as a child, I used to accompany my father on business outings. Perhaps that's what sharpened my eye for profit. You know, the most important thing in business is negotiation. It is a sort of battle, one might say. I find it rather fascinating. More medicine, a strong army and... well, there's no single answer, is there? But if this country ever wants to catch up to the West, it'll need to work hard. Only before it can start anything, it is going to need money. And as things stand, the government lacks the capital needed for development. Tackling this problem will demand the know-how of skilled finance officers like myself. It's not going to be easy, but that's what makes it so rewarding. Understood. I suppose that's about it.
I shall hear you out. Yes? What is it? Learning to keep your spear at a proper distance is key. Once you grasp this, you will have nothing to fear of bows and rifles, let alone swords. If only I could set my spear against cannons also. Then the black ships would not have given the Shogunate such a headache.